Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the sessions on power electronics by Ramana. So far, we have discussed the basics of power electronic devices, thyristor family devices, construction of SCR, its working, forward and reverse bias of SCR, VA characteristics of SCR, and its usage. And in this session, which is the fourth session, we will be discussing how to turn on the SCR, its gate characteristics, its ratings and specifications. So in this session, we will be discussing SCR turn-on methods or triggering, its gate characteristics and ratings. When it comes to SCR turn-on methods or triggering, actually it is a misnomer. Strictly speaking, we should call them as only turn-on methods, and the procedures used for turn-on methods are listed over here, in which particularly when we turn on the SCR with the aid of gate applying positive gate pulse, then only the sort of action will be as if it were triggered with fast conduction and enters into conduction mode. It can be called as triggering, and that is gate triggering. But in general, for all the other methods also, it is named as triggering, but strictly speaking, they are turn on methods. So the SCR turn on methods are forward voltage triggering, which actually we have already discussed in terms of forward bias and reverse bias, and also in VA characteristics, where we will be increasing the applied voltage or anode to cathode voltage. And the other one is temperature triggering. Temperature triggering, that is when we subject the SCR to higher temperatures because of the thermal energies acquired by the electrons and holes. There starts conduction, but very high temperatures are required and it takes very long time for turn on. The other one is dV by dt triggering. Again, it is a sort of forward voltage triggering wherein the increase in voltage will be very high. When the increase in voltage exceeds a pre-specified level dV by dt, then it starts to conduct. The junction J2 will vanish and SCR starts to conduct. The same thing can also be done by light triggering. When light rays fall on the SCR, then also it can conduct. This is the technology which is made utilized in light activated SCR or LASCR. And this light triggering can also be used for forward voltage triggering and also gate triggering. And the other one is gate triggering, where we will be applying positive gate pulse between gate and cathode, thereby a gate current enters into the inner P layer and eventually into the junction J2 and conduction takes place. So when it comes to all these methods, the other methods, that is other than gate triggering methods, take somewhat more time when compared to gate triggering. And also when we go back to our VA characteristics, as a CR is used as a switch, high frequency switch, that is we have to turn on and off SCR at high frequencies. Every time if you want to turn it on from zero voltage to the conduction mode, longer turn on times will prevail, and there will be some delay times. So to avoid that, when we use SCR as a high frequency switch, In most of the cases, SCR will be maintained in forward blocking mode all the times, and when required, a gate pulse is given or it is triggered by gate pulse to enter into the conduction mode, thus decreasing the turn on times. That is why gate triggering is preferred in almost all the cases. See here also it is given SCR turn on methods where forward voltage triggering, temperature triggering, dB by trigger, DT light triggering and gate triggering. And in this gate triggering again DC gate triggering, AC gate triggering, pulse triggering. There are so many methods in again gate triggering also. Gate triggering is nothing but a procedure by which we make some current to flow from the gate terminal into the cathode. That can be done in many ways, which are shown over here. This is normal resistance or normal. It will be done an by closing a switch from the same supply which is given to the SCR, and when required this switch will be closed, which is normally on, and when this switch is momentarily closed, gate current flows, and as SCR enters into conduction mode, gate will lose its control. There will not be any need to close the circuit, so it will automatically open. That is why a normally open switch is used for this. And these methods are discussed over here: forward voltage, all those things, temperature triggering, dB by dt triggering. Forward voltage triggering we have already discussed. As it exceeds the forward breakover voltage, it enters into conduction mode. Temperature triggering, as the by increasing the temperature at junction J2 causes the breakdown of the junction and hence it conducts. The triggering occurs in some circumstances, particularly when the device temperature is more. This type of triggering is practically not employed because it causes the thermal runaway. There will be some unwanted turn on of the SCR also because of this, and we rarely find temperature triggering of SCR. When it comes to dV by dt triggering also, it can be employed where junction J1 where J2 behaves as a capacitor. As it is increased in width, the charging current of the capacitor is I is C dV by dt. So the current is directly proportional to the change in voltage. If you are able to increase voltage rapidly, then also it will turn on. But again, this method is also not employed much because of the high rate of change of voltage. High temperatures will also come into picture. The other one, light triggering, it is used in opto electronics or light trigger device or LASCR, as it is shown over here. When light falls on it, it will conduct. And the most important thing which we are going to discuss here, it is gate triggering. Again, it is DC gate triggering, AC gate triggering, pulse triggering, and these things uh, only the gate triggering by UJT, that is uni junction transistor, will be discussed now. So the most commonly used and efficient way of gate triggering method of SCR is UJT triggering, that is uni junction transistor triggering. UJT, which is also called as a relaxation oscillator, this thing you have already learned in the previous levels of your program. This circuit shows an SCR connected in series with the load, which will be given with the required supply, which is not shown in in this figure, and there will be a separate supply given to the gate via the UJT circuit. This is the symbol for UJT, and The supply to the UJT is given via a voltage divider circuit with the combination of R and C. The same combination is normally used for gate triggering without UJT also, but it takes longer times and it becomes difficult to tune for the high frequency switching of the SCR. That is why UJT is used, which is also an oscillator type of turn on and turn off device. A UJ in this figure, it is evident that the voltage applied across the UJT base is the capacitor voltage. So when we turn on this UJT circuit voltage, UJT will be in non-biasing condition or it will not be conducting, and gradually the voltage fed to the circuit will be de- fed to the capacitor and capacitor voltage is built up, and the time in which this capacitor builds up to its rated voltage depends on this resistance or E, which is a variable resistance. By adjusting the value of this resistance, you can change the voltage building types of this capacitor. And the purpose of this capacitor building up a voltage is nothing but under normal conditions, this UJT will not be conducting, and when the voltage applied across this UJT exceeds beyond the biasing voltage point, which should fall in the negative resistance region of the UJT. When the voltage of point E, this emitter voltage, exceeds beyond the biasing voltage or above the biasing voltage, then this UJT will conduct. So when this capacitor is built up to a voltage which is enough to bias this UJT, then this UJT will conduct. When this UJT conducts, compared to this previous branch, now this branch acts like a short circuit. Now the current flows via the UJT into the gate terminal. Again, this resistance is connected in series over here to limit the current and also share the voltage drop. So by adjusting the value of this resistance, you can adjust the time taken by this capacitor to build to the voltage required to bias this UJT. So depending on the switching frequency of this SCR, we can tune and design the values of this resistance and capacitor to turn on this UJT and eventually to turn on the SCR via this gate. This is how UJT triggering works, which is automatic, and we can conveniently tune the conducting times of SCR to sync with the switching frequency of the SCR. This is very useful and flexible, and also as if you can program it by the hardware, that is by adjusting simply the resistance value or E to suit to the requirements of the SCR turn on times. Because of this, we can avoid the longer turn on times, lesser turn on times also you can turn on the SCR, and you can also change the turn on times according to the requirement. That is the advantage of UJT triggering method of gate triggering of SCR, and it is the most commonly used way of gate triggering method of SCR. And our next topic is the gate characteristics. So far, we have been discussing that when some current flows in the gate, SCR turns on, but there are certain limitations and certain precautions to be taken so that SCR turns on in the required fashion without any damage to the device, without any damage to the gate, and also to avoid the unwanted turn on of SCR also. And here is shown the gate characteristic, the graph of the gate characteristics, where it is an IV characteristic, that is IV characteristics of the gate, where gate current is shown on x-axis and voltage is shown on the y-axis. And there will be a corresponding Ig maximum, that is maximum allowable gate current, which can be flown through the gate for allowable power consumption, which is the curve shown for the power consumption is shown like this, from E to D or D to E. And there will be a corresponding Vg maximum also, the maximum gate voltage, positive gate voltage, which can be applied between gate and cathode. So corresponding to Ig maximum, there will be corresponding Vg maximum. As we apply voltage to the gate is the highly doped region. Because of this, even with slight increase in the voltage and current, there will be increase in temperature at the gate terminal connected to the P region, and there will be developed hot spots. Because of this, gate may get damaged or burnt down. So that is why maximum permissible currents and voltages are the most important things. Otherwise, SCR gets damaged if you apply more gate current than this or more gate voltage than this. And also, there are certain minimum values, Ig minimum and Vg minimum, again, which are required so that SCR can be turned on. Means, even though you apply forward voltage, the required forward voltage, if the gate current is less than this Ig minimum, it will not conduct. That is, just for comparison, think that Ig minimum corresponds to an anode voltage of 5 volts. For an example, consider that Ig minimum corresponds to an anode voltage of 5 volts, and corresponding Vg minimum, let it be zero point 0.8 volts. Now, even if the anode voltage is more than 5 volts, SCR cannot be triggered or turned on if the gate current is less than this Ig minimum. So that is the lower limit for gate current, and corresponding again lower limit of the gate voltage between cathode and anode. So even though higher anode voltages are there across the SCR, if the gate current is less than the Ig minimum or gate voltage is less than the Vg minimum, it will not be sufficient to drive the SCR and turn it on. And there is another parameter also, which is called as VNG. This is non-triggering gate voltage corresponding to Ig minimum. Even if Ig minimum is there, if the voltage is less than the Vg minimum also, it can be turned on. But if the gate voltage falls to a value called non-triggering gate voltage VNC, then SCR cannot conduct, it cannot be turned on. So these Five are the important factors regarding the gate voltage and current, and the other important thing is the average power consumption of the gate. This should also be within the specified limits. Now we will get a region between these curves drawn for with higher voltage ratings and lesser current ratings, with lower voltage ratings and higher current ratings, and the power region. So now we are getting a region like this, that is O F E D C B A O. But again, this is not the total region which is the safest region for turning on. We have to draw the load line which is shown from this point A to the x-axis, which will draw which will divide this gate characteristics into a safer region and non-safer region. This load line intersects the gate characteristics. Below the load line also it is not very safe, or it will not be proper triggering. Above the load line, which is nearer to proper average power consumption, that will be better. And to find out the most safest region to avoid the false triggering, and also to avoid the heating of the gate and the inner P junction, draw a tangent line from A to the average power consumption curve, where you will get another point which is not shown over here. That will that will get you the proper biasing point. And eventually the region enveloped between the points B, C, D, E, F, G and H. I repeat, B, C, D, E, F, G, H and B. In this region of the gate characteristics, it is preferable to drive or trigger the SCR. In this region, it will not be sufficient to the voltage and currents will not be sufficient. Even though they are sufficient, that region will not be used because there will be chances of fast triggering of the SCR in this region. So above this only we will be using those values. And Vg maximum and Ig maximum, this sector will never be used, because above this higher junction temperatures will prevail, gate will burn down or it gets damaged, so you cannot use that SCR. That is why we will be using only the voltage and currents in this region to the or we will be applying the voltage and currents to the gate only in this region for proper triggering of the SCR, and these are the preferable gate characteristics. Here we will have a glimpse of the same gate characteristics which is shown with the proper explanation. Once again we will go through that. Gate characteristic of thyristor or SCR gives us a brief idea to operate it within a safe region of applied gate voltage and currents. So this is a very important characteristic regarding thyristor. At the time of manufacturing each SCR or thyristor, it is specified with the maximum gate voltage limit Vg max, gate current limit Ig max, and maximum average gate power dissipation limit. These limits should not be exceeded to protect the SCR from damage, and there is also a specified minimum voltage and minimum gate current for proper operation of thyristor. Otherwise, below which there may be chances of triggering of gate by false triggering. So that is the important of gate characteristic. After discussing the triggering method and gate characteristics, now we will discuss the different ratings which are to be understood and followed for the SCR for selecting it for a proper given application. SCR ratings have some safety working margins and hence they are a little bit higher than the normal working values. Whether it is SCR or a thyristor or whether it is SCR or other thyristor family devices, these guidelines hold good. When compared to the other normal electronic components, thyristor family devices and power electronic devices are subjected to higher voltage and currents, and they will be continuously subjected to higher junction temperatures also. That is why we will have safety working margins more. We will have more safety working margins when compared to other normal electronic components, and hence they are a little bit higher than the normal working values. For reliable operation of an SCR, the safety working margin should not be exceeded, otherwise it gets damaged because of higher junction temperatures and also higher temperatures in the inner P region. That is why we have to understand and follow proper ratings. The SCR ratings, in fact, all the thyristor family devices and power electronic devices, but also even all electrical equipment and electronic components. When it comes to electrical equipment, may it be machines, that is motors, generators, or transformers, or electronic components which are continuously operated in a circuit, all will be subjected to continuously hold on to the applied voltages and the currents and also increasing temperatures. For all the equipment and components and devices, this classification holds good, which comprise of continuous ratings, repetitive ratings, and non-repetitive or surge ratings. When it comes to power electronic devices, all these ratings will be specified separately for forward and reverse biased conditions also, because the parameters, that is forward blocking voltage and currents, allowable leakage currents, latching currents, holding currents, and on-state currents and voltage drops, reverse blocking voltages and leakage currents, all those things will be different from forward bias to reverse biased conditions or first quadrant to third quadrant. So we have to have these ratings separately. These classification of SCR ratings, continuous ratings, they are related to the continuous working condition of the device. That is, they are when under normal operations, what are the voltages and currents to which they are subjected, and maximum allowable ratings above which it will be hazardous to, or it will be risky to use them, or they get damaged above those ratings. Repetitive ratings are useful when the device is switched on periodically. When it is periodically switched on and off, the ratings to which it can be subjected are called as repetitive ratings. Non-repetitive, no, also we can understand these repetitive ratings as the voltage and currents to which it can be subjected when it is turned on and off periodically, and normally these repetitive ratings are somewhat more than the continuous ratings. Non-repetitive or surge ratings corresponds to the maximum permissible non-repetitive current and peak voltage within the device which can be withstand during a surge. That is, surge is an abrupt increase in voltage and current from within the circuit due to some faulty conditions or some external factors which the device can withstand only for one time. If it is repeated, the device will get damaged. and these ratings will be normally higher than the repetitive ratings also. It can be subjected to these ratings only, uh, the values above these ratings only once. And one uh, to specify these ratings, we will be using different subscripts for the given parameters, that is voltage, current, average power dissipation, temperatures. Likewise, the subscripts, again we will be having two subscripts. The first subscripts which just follow after the parameter. If it is V, after V, subscript F. If subscript is F, it is for forward bias, or for reverse bias. T for on state means this is forward on state or conduction mode. D for forward blocking state with gate open. Forward blocking state means off state, and obviously during this period gate will be open, and when you want to turn on the SCR, then only gate will be closed and some triggering pulse will be given. So first script indicates these states, and second subscript followed by one of these subscripts indicates the operating values. T trigger, S surge or non-repetitive as we have discussed, or repetitive, W for working value or nothing but it is your continuous rating. So if it is indicated as VFW, VFW means it is working value of the voltage during forward biased condition. If it is VTW, it means that the voltage drop across the SCR which is permissible during the normal operating condition when it is conducting or in on state. Likewise, the subscripts are given, and again these classifications, every continuous ratings, repetitive ratings, and also non-repetitive ratings will be again divided to have will be applied to different parameters which are to be controlled, or which to which the SCR is subjected. Obviously, anode voltage ratings. Again, in the anode voltage ratings, you will have continuous ratings, repetitive ratings, and also surge ratings. And again, in that, you will be having forward ratings, reverse ratings. Likewise, current, anode current ratings. Again, in this, anode current ratings and gate current ratings. Power ratings, SCR power dissipation ratings, and also gate power dissipation ratings. dV by ratings, dV by dt, di by dt ratings. dV by dt ratings means this is the maximum permeable increase in the increase or decrease in the voltage, uh, which is safer, which is allowable for the safer operation of the SCR. Otherwise, if its limits are exceeded, the SCR gets damaged. And then turn on and turn off times. These are the most important things which you have to understand. Again, there will be proper turn on and turn off times, which to which you have to tune these times, which will be suitable for that particular load and circuit in which SCR is connected. Depending on this on the frequency of on of the SCR to suit to the load, you have to tune your turn on and turn off times. Latching and holding currents. These things we have already discussed in the previous sessions. There will be certain limits for latching and holding currents also. And last but most important things are temperature ratings. Due to all these parameters, anode current, anode voltage, gate current, gate voltage, anode voltage, power dissipation in the SCR and gate, dV by dt, di by dt in gate and also SCR, and there will be increase in junction temperatures between PN junctions and also gate and inner P junctions. So these temperature ratings should be strictly followed. If these are crossed, it gets damaged and it cannot be reused. So the above ratings will be specified by the manufacturer of SCR, and in tune with that you should be operating the SCR. Anode voltage ratings indicate the value of maximum voltage that can be applied across the device without causing any breakdown at junction area, and this breakdown will occur due to the temperatures or heat which will be developed due to higher anode voltage or higher dV by dt. Likewise, current ratings. There are different current ratings established with repetitive and non-repetitive waveforms of currents, which should not rise the SCR junction temperatures rapidly even for short overloads of current. If the junction temperatures increase rapidly, the SCR will be damaged. Hence, the operating current should be within the limits of satisfaction. Now we will be discussing the turn-on time. Here are the turn-on characteristics of an SCR, which is where anode current and gate current are also shown. This turn on is particularly related to the anode current only. Because of the gate current, anode current will increase and SCR turns into the conduction state. Now we will be discussing these things with reference to anode current. The turn on is divided into two times, TD and TR. TD is called as the delay time, TR is called as the rise time. Here it is shown TD. TD is the time from the zero current to a particular point, and TR is from that point to 90% value. To define delay time is defined as the time taken by the current to increase from zero value to 10%, 10% of the final current value. That is, if the final current is 1 ampere, then the time taken by the current from 0 amperes to zero point 0.1 amperes will be called as your delay time. You can relate this to normally to the forward blocking region. Normally, not exactly. And TR rise time is the time taken further, that is the time taken by the current to increase from 10% to the 90% of the final value, that is zero point 0.1 ampere to zero point 0.9 ampere, that is TR, and the total turn on is TD plus TR. There is also the final time, that is settling time of the total waveform, where you will be considering the total I, then it will be TD plus TR plus T F, that is final value time to reach from 90% to 100%. The total time will then be called as turn on, or TS, that is settling time. T on will be TD plus TR plus TS. For our definitions, we will be just considering T on is equal to TD plus TR only. And this for SCR normally lies between 2 to 10 microseconds. Turn on time of SCR is normally between 2 to 10 microseconds. Apart from that, we, we will be discussing turn off time also. It is turn off time will be TRR plus TR, which is shown over here in this case. This is the anode current which is falling and it is becoming zero when when the voltage also becomes zero for a resistive load. But see, anode voltage is almost zero, but there will still be some current flowing, and that too in the reverse direction. And this is from T1 to this T3 and also T4. From T1 to T4, this is the total time taken for the SCR to turn off, which is the combination of TRR and TGRR, simply TR. TRR is the time for which reverse recovery current flows. Time for which the reverse recovery current flows is called as TRR, and it increases gradually and decreases when its reverse recombination of electron hole pair occurs. That is TR, recombination time or reverse recombination of electron hole pairs to re-establish the normal or original conditions of the SCR to re-establish J1, J2 and J3. Its reverse recombination time TR. Now TRR plus your TR is your T1 to T4. This is the total time taken by the SCR to turn off, and now it will be ready to be triggered when forward voltage will be applied again. So actually throughout the reverse voltage of the anode voltage, SCR is conducting for some time in the reverse, which will be very less. It is reverse leakage current of the order of microamperes and even nanoamperes, but it will still be there, and afterwards it becomes zero. And then when anode voltage, positive anode voltage is applied again, then there starts building up of anode current, reverse leakage current, and when gate triggering pulse is given, anode current increases to a maximum and again it flows on. These are the turn off characteristics. Turn off time is normally more than when compared to turn on time. It is of the order of 50 to 200 microseconds. And the most important factor is the circuit turn off time for safe turn off should be more than the SCR turn off time. That is, circuit should never be turned off before the SCR is turned off totally. After SCR is turned off, then only circuit should be turned off. That is, means reverse anode voltage should still be there. So these are the turn on times and turn off characteristics. Next comes, we have already discussed these temperature ratings and also dV by dt rating and di by dt rating. So that is, these are regarding the ratings and specifications. To summarize, triggering of SCR by UJT is the most commonly used method of gate turn on. For reliable operation of SCR, it should be operated within a specified limit called ratings. Turn on time is of the order of 2 to 10 microseconds. Turn off time is of the order of 50 to 200 microseconds. For safe turn off of SCR, the circuit turn off time must be greater than the device turn off time. It is the most important thing which should be followed. Next, these are some frequently asked questions regarding these things. So, to summarize the things which we have discussed, or in this session, we have discussed various turn on methods and the UJT triggering method in the form of gate triggering. Next, we have discussed the gate characteristics and also various ratings and specifications. So, that is the explanation on various triggering modes of SCR, gate characteristics, and ratings. We shall have a glimpse again from the internet